Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Coriander, here we are with Slasher Movie Club, talking about Hell Night
Yep.
from 1981, starring Linda Blair and Peter Barton. Okay, so had you ever seen this movie before?
No. This is the first time I'd seen it.
Oh, okay, alrighty. So let's just do a quick take. What did you think of this movie? Just like a quick little blurb.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It started out a little iffy for me at first, but as it's continued on, it got better and I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's definitely one of those 80's movies. It's definitely got that 80's cheese to it, and just some of the situations that the people were in. But I enjoyed the cast, especially the three main leads with Peter Barton, Linda Blair, and Vincent Van Patten. Let's see what we have in the chat real quick, and let's see what we got going on. We got Neon Black Reviews, my man Neil, in the chat saying, friend of mine in St. Louis plays bass in a band called Hell Night that is named after this movie. Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's pretty cool, man. That is
Right?
cool. We got Phil. Phil's in the chat. Phil's
Hey.
creepy videos saying, hey there, Hell
Nice.
Night fans. Phil, I like the way I like how you change it a little bit here. That's good. I like that. We got my man David from David's Horror in the chat saying, yes, on time for once. That's funny, David. All right. James is in the chat saying, hi, guys. Doing okay tonight. All right, man. Nice to have you.
Good.
Nice to have you.
Yeah.
Saying Linda Blair is fantastic as Marty Gaines. Yes, I do agree with that. She was really, really good in this movie. But let's just start from the beginning here, Coriander. I mean, it pretty much opens up and you realize that we're dealing with, a fraternity, and you already get the sense right in the beginning of the movie that this is going to have that, young adult vibe going on with it. But I did really enjoy like the music, and there was a lot of energy in the beginning of the movie, but that's when we're just starting to meet the characters. What did you think of how the movie started, and especially once Linda Blair was introduced into it?
I mean, yeah, it didn't start out bad. Like you said, they're at a party, everyone's dressed up, having a good
Mm-hmm.
time.
Yeah,
And yeah, then she appears. Yeah. What can
absolutely.
I
I mean,
say? Yeah.
huh?
I said, what can I say?
What do you mean?
Well, because she shows up and the party continues, and pretty soon thereafter they go to that mansion. So,
Right, right. I mean, it was pretty cool though. I mean, I think the costume design was really, really neat. Like this movie,
oh, yeah.
I think the one thing that was really cool about it is that it kind of transported you a bit because everyone's dressed up, and then of course once you go to the mansion, that whole set design, it was just like really old school, like gothic feel almost.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the things I appreciated the most.
That place
But
was huge.
right? It
Yeah.
was. It definitely looked creepy, and it definitely felt creepy. Everything about it,
Hmm.
the whole thing. But you're introduced to Linda Blair and obviously Peter Barton and Vincent, your man Vincent Van Patten right here as Seth, aka Wes, and he was, I gotta admit, he was kind of like the MVP for me in a way, because he's just playing this regular stoner surfer guy, and he just had some funny moments in this movie, and he also screamed like a
Right.
girl, and that was really, really
Yes,
funny.
he did.
But he's basically hanging out with this chick, Denise, who can never get his name right. Not that was like a funny little gag throughout the movie. What do you think about some of that?
Yeah, it was funny, but if I was that guy, I mean, that would seriously piss me off. It's like, how many times did he tell her his name? It's like, come on,
Right.
bitch. I know you're blonde, but come on.
Right. We got Dan. Dan's in the chat too, saying, "What's up, guys? What's going on, Dan? How you doing, man? How you doing, man?" But yeah, she called him the wrong name a bunch of times, and then the joke. I mean, I'm skipping ahead, but then whiles later on, he says he calls himself something else, and then she's like, well, I thought your name was Seth, and it's like it was just funny.
Yeah.
This movie, it's funny because this movie is doing multiple things. It's campy, but yet you're in this mansion that's really creepy, so it's taking it very seriously. But you do have some really cheesy moments too, like this whole thing with her not knowing his name or calling him the wrong name multiple times. It's crazy. Slasher Fred's in the chat too, saying Vincent Van Patten, who appears in the film, is the son of the great Dick Van Patten, who was known for his TV series 8 is Enough. Yes, indeed. We got Lamar in the chat. What's going on, man? Welcome to the chat. Saying this is a throwback. Yes, it really is, man. It really, really is. James saying that mansion is very big. I know, man. It's like, how many hallways and corridors do you need in a mansion? It was ridiculous, but it made for a great movie.
But not only that, but just like the outside scenes. I mean, for them to get from one end outside to the next, it was like a mile.
Right. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Lamar saying, good evening. I thought I was the only one to remember this movie. Right. A lot of people don't talk about it, and I think it's one of those gems from back in the day from 81. Neon saying, is that the same Vince Van Patten from World Poker Tour? That's a good question, man. I don't know. I'll have to find that out. That's a good question. Lamar saying, I'm mad that it's underrated. True enough, man. It is very underrated. I definitely agree with you on that. It's a good movie. It's fun. It's a fun movie. Yeah. David saying, I watched this for the first time since the 80's last year. Great movie. There you go. So that's what I'm talking about. So, like you were saying, Coriander, once they're outside and all gathered around to this damn mansion, then all of a sudden the leader of the fraternity, or the president of the fraternity, Peter, he starts to tell the story of the Garth family. Now, what did you think of this story and how that scene played out? It very much reminded me of kind of like, those type of slashers where you're around the campfire.
Yeah, I like how this slasher brought, the typical, like we're saying, slasher, but also the haunted house feel too. Because once you get in there, it's great. And he just set the tone, with the story to get them all fucking creeped out. And,
right.
You got to spend, 6 hours in here and you can't leave, and he locks them in. And it's crazy because there's like a shitload of people. And I thought this whole group of people was going to be going to this place.
Right.
And it's just 4 of them.
It's just those 4.
Yeah, it's like, that's crazy, man.
Yeah. But he tells this story about this family where this man and woman were trying to have kids, and each time they had a child, the child was horribly deformed and disabled and so forth. And ultimately, to make a long story short, because I'm sure any of you guys that love this movie know the story, and for you guys that haven't seen it, this will be just a quick synopsis. But I guess the father went crazy and killed the mother, killed 3 of the 4 children, killed himself. And so, it's like, wow. And, that's the ultimate type of place to stay for the night when you're doing, fraternity dares and initiations and stuff like that. So the setup was great. But with these 4 characters, I want to give credit to this movie, even though it's campy and cheesy, and I think some people, might dismiss it. They gave us 4 characters that were very, one, they were compelling, but they were different. You know what I'm saying? You've got your surfer guy who's just, whatever, just a guy, stoner guy, whatever. You had Denise, who was pretty much drunk and tipsy, but obviously played the blonde role. Peter Barton was kind of like your every guy, even though he was rich. He definitely didn't portray himself as snobby. And then, of course, you had Linda Blair, who was the innocent, damsel.
Mechanic of all things.
And a mechanic, right? Exactly. And I thought the scene where her and Peter Barton were talking, I thought it was pretty compelling because, they were talking about some things. It's almost like they didn't do any social commentary, but it was kind of in there a little bit, just a little bit, but done in a very the organic type of way, because she was talking about her opinion of rich people. And then, of course, he gave her opinion of poor people, and come to find out that they both, had these preconceived notions that were wrong. And in other words, they were able to meet in the middle. And I thought that was kind of cool the way they did it. It was organic without beating you up over the head. You know what I mean? What did you think of that conversation?
I agree. I mean, if anything, it made them, besides with what they were going through, but because at first you had the brothers, who were like playing tricks on them. So
yes,
but they were smart to find the little speakers and like
yes,
the camera, so they knew it was all a bunch of bullshit.
right.
But yeah, and I also liked how too this film kind of didn't bring the killers until kind of late. So
right.
That was really cool too.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of pulled a little switcheroo, because the brothers of the fraternity, Peter and his friend, and also Jenny Newman, who played May, those three were outside, and they already had things set up. They do this every year, like you said, speakers that are, making noises, a way to open the doors automatically, and stuff like that.
So they projected a ghost.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And we'll get to that. But so they're ready to set up all these things. And then, as the movie starts, like you said, Peter Barton and Seth and everyone else, they find the speakers. So they know that this is made up. And that's when things start to get pretty interesting, because outside of the house, that's where things are not going well for the pranksters. Jenny Newman gets it first. She's pulled into this friggin' ditch. It was pretty crazy, man. And that whole scene, like when she gets beheaded, and it's like, holy shit, it was it just happened, and you're like, well, one down. So real quick too in the chat, let me just catch up with these guys a little bit. Lamar was saying another good movie you should do is Kingdom of the Spiders from 1978.
That's
yes,
a great movie. That's like one of my favorites. So,
Yes. Slasher Fred saying, speaking of haunted house, one of these days you should review either the original House on Haunted Hill or the 60s version of The Haunting. Yeah, both. Yeah. I like both of those. Let's see. Lamar saying the story in this movie was unsettling. It really was. I mean, it was a good setup. I think it was a very good setup for the movie. James saying the college life is different now. Right.
oh boy.
Lamar saying, my thing was, did they do all that without dying or getting killed? I was wondering always. Did they do all that without dying? The pranksters? Yeah, the pranksters, they got killed. They got killed one by one, actually. It was some good deaths, man. That one where he twisted the head of Peter's right-hand man outside, that was a good one on the roof. It was some good kills. I really, really think so. What did you think of the kills?
Yeah, like we all say, some of these movies have more gore than others, and obviously this one wasn't one of those gory movies, but some of the kills, I mean, they were good.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so too. I really do. But as all that's happening outside, inside, these guys don't know that what's going on. They're just thinking this is just a prank, and you've got Seth and Denise. They're just hanging out and just fooling around and all of that. And it was really, really funny, because when you get to the point when Denise gets taken, and you have that fantastic scene where Vincent Van Patten, who's playing Seth, he gets into the bed and he notices that she's not there, but he feels something beside him, and he finds her severed head, and he just screams like a girl, man. It was a great scene, man, because his character was kind of played for humor, so it was, it worked with his character, but it was just one of those scenes that you and it looked pretty good too.
Not only that, but you really didn't. It did, but you didn't expect him to sound so girlish,
So right? I know.
It was a little unexpected.
I know, right? James saying, I cannot wait for Halloween next month. We can't either, man. And we've got some really cool stuff planned, some really big stuff planned for the channel. So we're really excited about having a chance to celebrate Halloween with you guys. It should be really, really fun. Lamar saying, no, I meant how did they set up without getting killed? That's a good question. Maybe it was just one of those things where it was just luck, because obviously we know that the killers,
right.
Yeah, right. Exactly. They must have just gotten lucky, when they were doing all the setup and stuff. David saying, Linda Blair gave a great performance. Too bad she didn't do more. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Fred saying the plot of the episode kind of reminds me from an episode of Tales from the Crypt called House of Horror, where these fraternity brothers challenge 3 pledges to spend a night in a house. Yeah, I mean, that story, I suppose the one thing you could say about the movie is that the story itself, the plot of the story, isn't original by any means.
Right.
But maybe that's also what gives it I don't know, nostalgic feeling, for people that do love those haunted house or haunted mansion type of stories. They really went all out with the setting. I thought it was really cool. Yeah. But once Seth sees the head that's chopped off and freaks out, he's like, I'm getting the hell out of here. And it was just so funny. He literally ran out of the house, and you got your boy Peter Barton is just trying to slow him down and wait, where are you going? And he climbs over.
He's trying to keep up.
Yeah, Linda Blair's.
Wait,
Linda Blair's
those
in
damn
these
shoes.
I was about to say she's in these high-heeled boots. And by the way, all these guys, their outfits were all great. I gotta admit, they all were dressed really, really cool as far as just costuming. But yeah, she can't keep up, man, with those high-heeled boots, white boots. What's she gonna do on those? She should have taken them off. But anyways,
right.
But Seth gets over the gate. I thought for sure he was gonna get killed because the spikes are razor sharp, and he even cuts himself a little bit. But he gets over the gate,
and the gate is so thin too. It seems like it would be hard to get a grip. Yeah.
I know it took a little time, but I gotta admit it was a cool little scene. But he gets over and he's trying to find some help. The whole town is like dead. I'm talking about zombie apocalypse dead. No one's around. All you see is fucking TP everywhere because the college kids have gone crazy with pranking, which becomes a plot device, which I don't know. I told you what I thought about that, but he finally gets to the cops, right? And as soon as he goes in, the cops are just not listening to him. They're like, yeah, whatever. And he's like, someone's been killed. I need help. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I get it. They've been pranked, through the night or whatever, and it's hard for them to believe another college kid. But at the same time, it's like, come on, man. I don't know if the cops would really just, shoo him away. What'd you think of that scene?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of crazy how the cops acted too, because if anything, you'd think they'd bring him up to the area just to check shit out,
right?
Not just not believe him and send him away or threaten if you don't leave, I'm gonna throw you in jail. It's like,
right? Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Lamar saying, Linda started messing with Rick James and fell into cold-blooded music. That's right, cold-blooded. Flamethrower saying, love this movie. It has pranks, sex, drugs, and Linda Blair. Those all get thumbs up. Right. 1981 at its best, man. Let's see. James says, Vincent Van Patten is excellent as Seth, and his character should have never died in the first place. I know. I was,
That was a bummer.
It was a bummer.
He was like a hero.
He
hero to the very end. It was like, shit, man.
He was. And Dan saying, can't wait to see what you come up with for Halloween. Oh yeah, man. It's gonna be some fun, man. It's gonna be fun. We got some projects coming up. We've got a really big project that I haven't announced yet that hopefully is going to come together before Halloween, including multiple content creators. So it should be fun. Neil saying they're going to review Christmas Evil for Halloween. You're right. Nice. You never know, man. We've done crazier things. But, you know, back to your point, he gets the gun out of this office that's conveniently unlocked. I mean, I'm talking about a shotgun.
Evidence.
And
it's like evidence, a room full of evidence.
Okay, well, yeah, but it's a shotgun fit for hunting an elephant with full ammo. I'm talking Terminator style here, you know.
Well, I think the ammo was like sitting next to it. Yeah.
Basically, it's saying, "Take me, I'm yours." Yeah,
right.
Go off and do your best, Arnold. Okay.
Yeah.
But he takes the gun, which was smart. He gets back to the mansion, which, you know, at this point, it's funny because his character, I kind of was on a roller coaster with him, because in the beginning I thought he was funny. And then when he, you know, he screamed like a girl and ran away, I was thinking, this dude's never coming back. You know what I mean? But when he did come back, I thought, wow,
I believed him when he told Marty there, "I'll be back, darling," and he bolted like fucking Superman. It was
Right. So he comes back and he gets attacked, and that was a pretty cool scene. He gets attacked by one of the killers, and he's wrestling around. This is outside, kind of like what you were talking about. The set design outside was great too. Creepy. Yeah. I mean, nothing but shadows and
I like how they greenery. Used the blue lighting too in certain scenes.
Yes,
I thought that was really cool.
I think so too, man. This movie, it really has some great ambiance. I mean, one of the most atmospheric films that we've done in this slasher movie club series. But he barely gets away. I was like, shoot him. And he did. He shot one of the killers. And I'm like, nice. So then, of course, and this was a cool twist in the story because you didn't expect it. He comes back into the house and he tells Peter Barton and Linda Blair, hey, I made it back. Now, all the while, those two are chilling out. They come into a close call themselves. So it's like multiple things are happening in a movie. And I thought that was pretty cool. But of course, he comes back in and bam, he gets killed. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to Wes, aka Seth. You know, just joking. But he gets killed. And it was funny because at that point, Linda Blair, who had been pretty much innocent in the damsel in distress type of character, she starts to elevate herself and says, I got to get that gun, you know, and then that.
Well, you had Jeff that was hurt.
Right.
So
Jeff.
Couldn't.
Yeah. Jeff got hurt because they were dealing with one of the other killers. And so.
Which was a great scene. Can I just say that rug scene when they were in the bedroom?
Yeah.
That was damn cool, because who knew there was a fucking hole in the floor?
Right.
And when you saw that rug rise, and it was like, what the hell is that?
It was very effective.
Cool scene. Yeah.
It caught me off guard when I saw it. I was like, what? That's awesome.
Right.
Let's see. In the chat, Lamar saying, please do Kingdom of the Spiders. Please, for me. That's my Halloween request praying.
See, I'm right with you because I've told Knight to do this movie too, so I'm with you.
And here's the thing too, and I'll throw this out, you know, for you, Lamar, and anyone else. I know Slasher Fred sometimes has requests too. Definitely leave them in the comment section of the video as well, because you guys would not believe how many movies, you know, we either might have a request on, and between us and also Killian too, we have all these movies that we've planned and we try to do them in a certain order. We've literally got movies that are going to take us to the end of the year, like planned. And we do 4 streams a week.
You think maybe even beyond, honestly.
Yeah, it actually will go beyond. Yeah. So definitely leave us the request in the comment section. We also, I guess I might as well throw it out here now, also to let you guys know. We also have started a Patreon page. So we also will offer different rewards and extra episodes that will be exclusive there as well. So you guys can check that out in the about section of the channel. So we're going to be doing a lot of neat things. It's going to be pretty cool. But Kingdom of the Spiders is on the list. Hopefully we can get to it soon. But because you asked nice, we will try to push that forward. But still leave a comment in the comment section of this video just to remind us. Lamar saying, I love this channel already. You should do movie trivia Fridays and throwback Thursday trivia. You know, it's funny you say that because we have done some trivia, and also monthly, us as well as some other content creators, great friends of the channel, we get together for what we call the Night in the Deadly Venom stream, and it's like 7 of us, you know,
We've done trivia on that,
and we've done trivia.
Yeah.
You would love it, Lamar. Check it out. It's in our
Yeah.
playlist called Night in the Deadly Venoms. We've done I think five episodes, and it's been a lot of fun. And we've got something special planned coming up that we have never done. And I think you guys, especially people that love trivia and also just heart, I think you guys are going to love it. Also, James was saying, I wish that a sequel would happen. That would be cool. It really would. David saying, I have a request. David, I know. See, David, and tell me if I'm right. David is waiting for us to do Silence of the Lambs. He knows that my affinity for silence, and the great Anthony Hopkins, my favorite actor, he knows that he knows. And trust me, dude, we are waiting. I'm just waiting to pull the trigger on that, because seriously, I truly love that movie so much. When we did our top 10 horror movies of the decades, that was my number one pick for the 90s. I didn't even have to think about it. I think it was in my,
was it 2 or 3?
I think it was 2 or 3. Yeah. So definitely, man, we're going to be doing it soon, dude. Trust me. And you're already on, because I know you're just waiting to do it. But correct me if I'm wrong, if that's not your request, though. Lamar saying, sign me up. Hit the link, dude. Yeah, I think it should be on the about section of the channel, and you'll definitely be able to get in there and check things out. We just started it, so we got to put some other stuff up, some exclusive stuff. But absolutely, man, thanks so much for the support too. We really appreciate it. We're definitely trying to do some really cool stuff and trying to do some different type of things. But back to the story, though, Linda Blair and Peter Barton, they're in trouble. Right?
Yeah, they are.
I mean, and I love that scene. We've got it in the intro. One of my favorite scenes from this movie, where the killer, and presumably it's Andrew Garth, he goes right through that door like friggin' Michael Myers. And the look on Linda Blair's face, this still image doesn't do any justice. The look on her face, she looked like she was about to pee her pants if she already didn't.
I was gonna say, she probably did a little bit.
It's like, holy shit. And I mean, look at this makeup effect. It's awesome. I mean, it's just really cool, old school, practical effects. I love it. But unfortunately, she climbs out of the window. Peter Barton is telling her, get out of here, get out of here. And he's trying to go right behind her, and she's freaking out. And Peter Barton is wrestling with Andrew. And then Andrew basically lifts him up and throws him out of the window. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Peter Barton is dead? I'm like, what the hell's going on? And by the way, shout out to Peter Barton, because he was great in this movie. I
enjoyed him in the Final Friday.
Yes,
but
Friday
he wasn't
13,
like a main character. Well, he wasn't really like in this. He really had a role.
Yeah, and he had some arc.
He did, and I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I did too, man. I did too. But and also when they went down in the caverns, that scene in the tunnels, and this is before,
the chase scene underground.
The chase scene was great too. And then of course they find Denise down there, and it was just great, man. I mean, look at this carnage. It's great. But Linda Blair climbs up to the roof, and she finds that ladder that one of the frat boys on the outside was using to get to the roof. She climbs down, and then you got this great scene where she's running through the it's basically like a hedge maze from The Shining.
Yeah.
She's trying to find her way out, and she doesn't know where she's going. She runs into Peter, the president of the fraternity, and he's got the key to the gate. So she yanks that key. I was like,
she had to fight. Girl. Yeah, she had to fight because that dead grip, man, he had a pretty good grip on it.
Right. Absolutely, man. So she gets the keys, and she gets out. She gets to the car that Seth had used to get back to the mansion. Now, the only thing is, she's trying to start the car. Of course, it wasn't starting at first. I'm
But
like,
this is so
come on.
perfect, right? Because
Well,
she could
yeah,
fucking fix it herself, so no big
yeah,
deal.
yeah. She hot
Good
wires
for
it. Good,
her,
good for her. And she's
right?
Linda Blair, so she can do no wrong. So, anyways, she gets in the car, and then who's on the roof of the car, Coriander? Who's on the roof?
Yeah,
It's
freak
like,
number 2,
are you serious? What the fuck's
right?
going on, man? But
Right?
and you gotta love all these villains in these horror movies. They're literally stuntmen. Like if they get on the roof of your car, you cannot shake them off of the roof of your car easily. They have gone to Stuntman Academy so that they can hold on
Fucking
better
grip
than
of steel,
anyone,
right?
right? But it was awesome though because she's trying to get him off of the car, and then she basically heads towards the gate that's broken,
That was
and
so
she
cool.
and it's broken above where the car is. So in other words, it's right
The
where the
car
roof
fits.
is.
Yeah,
The car goes underneath,
mhm.
and the gate impales Andrew, and it's like,
That dude, like
wow,
3 or 4 times, yeah.
yes,
So
yes.
you know that it's over. Yeah.
Yes, it was a very satisfying ending. It really, really was.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, man.
And the other one, when Seth, before he was killed, he took
Uh-huh.
out one with a couple shots. So
Yeah, he shot him with
was
that
pretty
gun.
good. He did.
Yeah,
So kudos to him, man. At least he took one of them out.
absolutely. Jameson, I gotta go now. Bye for now. Tell your friends about my YouTube movie reviews. Yeah, man, I did enjoy your Friday review, man, because you know I love Friday the 13th. This was my favorite horror franchise. David saying my number one all-time favorite, talking about Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, it is, man. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. But so she kills him, and then it's kind of weird because maybe she's just tired from the trauma of it all, and she kind of just fades away, like sleeping or getting knocked out or whatever. She wakes up, it's daytime, of course, now it's daylight and everything's okay. She gets out of the car, and then she just walks towards the camera, and then it cuts off, and it's like, wow, that's a pretty good movie, man. I really enjoyed it.
Survivor.
Yeah, but by all accounts, all of these actors had a great time on set, and you can see that from a lot of the behind the scenes photos. So, in other words, this movie is fun. The shooting of it seemed like it was fun. And it's just one of those movies that if you want to watch, something that has great atmosphere, a great setting, and a likable cast, you've got an hour and a half to kill. This is a great movie to watch. It really, really is. It was fun. Let's see. David was saying, I wonder if Castle Freak drew some inspiration from this movie. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised at all. Absolutely. But we've got a few fun facts too from the movie, so we'll throw these out at you guys in case there are some things you may not know about Hell Night from 1981. So, Coriander, our first fun fact that we've got: the Costner connection.
Yeah, so actor Vincent Van Patten claims that future actor Kevin Costner worked on the film as a grip.
Wow.
Right?
Wow. Humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Humble beginnings. I love it. Our next fact: the purple caped Crusader.
Yeah. Kevin I can't even say his name.
Brophy.
Yeah, there you go. Who played Peter said in an interview that he still has the purple cape and that he wears it every Halloween. Yeah, since making the film.
Yeah. That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
Those are little things that you'd never really know about some of these actors and actresses unless you went deep into it. Right. Our next one, filming time.
It was 40 days.
All right.
Yeah, that's not very long.
Not at all. The original idea.
Yeah, so it was written to have only one killer in the film, and the producers later added the idea of 2 killers so that the shocks and could be extended, and the finale had more of a climax to it.
Nice. All right. That's very cool. I think that was a good choice to me, because that caught me off guard, because when Seth killed one of them, and I was like, okay, and he comes into the house, and then another one comes out. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Right. That being said, our next fun fact Andrew Garth.
Yeah, it was played by a young German actor who sadly died in a car accident before the film was released.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
so
sad.
that's a bummer.
Yeah, that is a bummer. We got a couple more here left. The great Linda Blair.
Said filming consisted of 6 days a week from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. They even had to
Wow.
work on Thanksgiving, she was saying. Yeah,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
yeah.
And from what I understand, and if you guys, any of you guys have the Hell Night Blu-ray from Scream Factory, I believe she was saying that this was one of her favorite movies that she has done. She definitely holds it in high regard and definitely had a fun time doing it. And we got two more. This is a one that I wanted to throw out too. Compass International Pictures, which has done a lot of great horror movies, but this was the final film that they released. So I always thought that that was
Wow.
kind of interesting. Yeah. And then the last fun fact we have is the Terror Train Connection. For any of you guys that are Jamie Lee Curtis fans, there was a Terror Train Connection. And it basically was where the producers had seen Terror Train and wanted to have a chase scene, an iconic chase scene for Linda Blair, similar to how Jamie Lee Curtis had hers in Terror Train. So I always thought that that was pretty cool, you know, just seeing the connections of some of these great horror films, you know.
Nice.
Yeah. But this film's great, man. I really, really love it. So many great things about it. Also, to throw out too, Coriander, Chuck Russell, the great Chuck Russell, who directed The Blob and Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors. He actually was an executive producer on this movie. So
Nice.
I thought that was cool. And also Frank Darabont was a production assistant. Of course, Frank Darabont has done so many great movies like Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile, The Mist. So
Nice.
again, Chuck Russell, Frank Darabont, Kevin Costner as a grip. I mean, humble beginnings for so many of these iconic filmmakers and actors and so forth. I think it's always cool to kind of see that, you know, because, you know, sometimes people think folks in Hollywood, they just go and they do things and they don't put any time or hard work or effort into it. But a lot of them do. And a lot of them work on these smaller films that sometimes people would never, ever think about. So I thought that that was some really cool stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's see. Before we head on out, David was saying, do you know who is a big fan of Hell Night? Ben from Cadaver Club. Yes, I knew that. Hopefully he'll get a chance to listen to this. I know he works at night, but yeah, Ben's awesome, man. And this really is a good movie. It really, really is. David was saying Halloween 78 was associated with Compass. Yes, it was. You know the drill. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, this was the last movie that they distributed. But you know, what are you going to do? At least we got some really good films, you know, while they were in business. So, but anyways, yeah, Coriander, this was a fun. Out of all the movies we've done for Slasher Movie Club, right?
Oh,
and
boy, yeah.
we've done
so many.
We've probably done 20 or so.
Yeah. What's the question?
Well, no, I was just going to say, it's really a statement. I was going to say this might be one of the most fun, you know, just kind of kick back and just watch it.
I have to kind of agree. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very fun. The cast was fun. And I here's the other thing too, and we've talked about some really great slasher movies like, you know, The Prowler or My Bloody Valentine or Just Before Dawn, The Burning. But I got to admit, man, even though it's basically 4 people, you know, in the mansion and really 3 of the main leads with Vincent Van Patten, Linda Blair, and Peter Barton, I really liked those 3 a lot as characters in the movie. You know what I mean? So, yeah, this was a really good one. It really, really was. David saying they went out with a bang talking about Compass. Yeah, they did. I agree. All right. Well, let's see what we've got going on for next week for Slasher Movie Club, which eventually we probably will have our content calendar up on our Patreon page. But we're still going to do, you know, little sneak peeks here and there. But let's see what we got for next week, Coriander. Here we go. right. So we
Nice.
got don't go in the woods alone.
Yeah. I've never seen that one.
I've
And it
never
is
seen it
available.
either.
Yeah, it is available on Tubi too, if anybody wants to check it out and come back
Okay.
with us and talk about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we've said this before, I want to say it again. With Slasher Movie Club, the idea for this series was always for us to let you guys know what we're going to watch a week in advance. And we wanted to make sure they were movies that were readily available, either physically or streaming wise, and are free. So definitely, if you guys get a chance during this week to check out Don't Go in the Woods Alone, check it out, man. And then next week when we talk about it,
chat with us.
it'll be a chat. Absolutely. We got my man Rusty in the chat saying one of my all-time favorites, Blair was great, and Howdy did Van Patten and Barton Teenage Crush Me. Okay. Oh, I got you. Yes. Hey, Peter Barton, I'm not gonna lie, man. Peter Barton, he was just debonair and suave, wasn't he? He's actually still a cool. He still is a really cool guy, man. I've seen interviews with him talking about Hell Night, and he's still like really, really cool. Got to give him credit. Nice. Neil saying you could do a whole series on horror movies whose title begin with "don't." That's true. That's very true. David saying I haven't seen that one. I'll have to give it a go. Yeah, man, that's what we're gonna do, and it is available free on Tubi, and you cannot beat free. David saying another great stream, Night and Coriander. Thanks a lot, man. We appreciate that, David. You're all right, man, and everyone in this chat and everyone is been with us for a little while, but if you haven't, I always want to say to people, everyone in the chat, definitely support each other. So many great content creators that support us, and we try to support them as much as possible. And if we're able to provide a community where they get to meet new people and get new fans to their projects, that's awesome. So all right, guys. So we'll catch you guys next time. Please give the video a like. That'll help support us and the channel. We'd appreciate it. And also, just as importantly, leave us a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think of Hell Night. Is it as much fun as we think it is? If so, why? What did you think of the great Peter Barton and the great Linda Blair? Great movie, in my opinion. Great movie. Neil saying, enjoyed the stream as always. Catch y'all later tonight. All right, man. Thanks a lot. We appreciate it. Rusty saying, I knew him from The Seduction with Morgan Fairchild, which is one of my classic faves, probably the first stalker horror movies I ever saw. You know, I've never seen that one, but Morgan Fairchild, you've already got my attention. There you go. Cool. All right, guys, we will catch you guys later. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace out, guys.
Watch it.